Welcome to See You Bands and Fans podcast, where musicians tell their story. I'm here with my co-host, Zach Widup, and we're glad to be back. January of 2025, we took the summer off because everybody was busy and I had some health issues, and so this is that. But we are so glad to be back. And our guest, our first guest for the 2025 year, is Patrick with the band Castle Fen. Let me just say a little bit about Castle Fen. They did an EP release on January 11th at the Gallery Bar. Is that right, Patrick?
That's right. Yep. This Saturday.
For their new, now is this a single or an entire?
It's an EP. It's a 3-song EP.
Okay, and it's called On the Vine.
On the Vine, yeah.
And you can get that, and we will put a link in our description of this podcast. We will also have the song playing at the beginning of this podcast, is what you'll hear in the intro, and we will have the full song at the end of this podcast. So for your listening ears. But I've been listening to you most of today to really get a feel of your music and the vibe, and it's very retro, as they say.
Yeah.
And you guys describe yourself as a freak folk band with love.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I think that's the best way to put it.
And honest to God, never heard of it. I never heard of
Okay. Yep. Okay.
band. So tell me about how that description came into play because of the type of music that you have.
Well, honestly, it comes from a couple of my favorite bands describe themselves as freak folk. And a lot of the things that always drew me to them, I also like in my music. So one thing that the common threads there for freak folk, it seems like, is kind of okay, so that classic retro feel with the old kind of soulful sound,
Very much.
but folky, kind of rooted in in a folky, folk tradition, but definitely has a psychedelic thread and
Yeah,
avant-garde, just kind of weird, kind of experimental, kind of bold and creative ways. And
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna hold you on that for a minute because Jordon-Smith just joined us.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, Jordon. How are you?
Hi. Oh, I'm doing pretty well. Sorry, I was actually finishing up dinner. I just got it on.
Absolutely fine. You came in a good spot. We just began, and we were talking to Patrick about the description of the band being a freak folk band with love for the abstract. So he really just described that very well, what that is, what that means. I was telling him also, I've been listening to your music most of today. And I really couldn't describe it does have that retro vibe. And I will say you are all very proficient with your instruments. Just amazing.
Well,
Amazing.
thank you. Thank you.
So how many is in the band and how did this form and where did the name Castle Fen come from?
Okay, yeah. So there are currently 5 of us. That's the most we've had. And we got Jordon, as you know, on drums. Noah is our keys player, synth player, but he's also kind of our Swiss Army guy in the band. He does a lot of, he's just super talented and does a lot of the recording and has a lot of great ideas. He's also the youngest one of us, I think. But yeah, he's kind of one of our gurus in the band. And then Justin is our bass player. He's been with us for Justin and Noah, the keys player, have been with us, been with Castle Fen since 2021, I think, 2022. And then we added Jordon short after that. And then most recently, Tyler on guitar. And yeah, Tyler's been with us for about a year now. And Jordon, what 2 years? You got, I think, 2 years. So 20,
Let's see. I
2022,
joined,
2023.
yeah, I joined in April of 2022. Tyler joined in December of 2022, I believe. But then
Yeah,
we kind of took a hiatus for a year. We only like did a
yeah,
show, a couple little things,
right.
wrote a bunch of
Yeah,
music, that type of
yeah.
stuff.
Did some recording.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah.
So Castle Finn came from what? What's that?
So Castle Finn started. Okay, so I started Castle Finn. It's kind of my music. It's my creative baby. I started back in my hometown. Castle Finn is the rural neighborhood, in just by Marshall, Illinois, out in the sticks, kind of. It's like a little rural area, and I grew up out there. It's my family lives out there, and it's just kind of a part of me, and it's just a really beautiful thing that's kind of inspired me, and I kind of wanted to connect that to the music, and it's kind of my muse. So, and I like the name Castle Finn too, so we just kind of roll with that, and then
I would have
um,
I guessed that that came from what you just said. But
yeah.
is you the one that's in BAM camp in the description? Are you the one that went to the woods or whatever, and that's where you get inspired? And
Yes, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay,
Mhm.
all
Yeah.
right,
I write the lyrics, it's kind of so far it's kind of been my like up until this EP, it's kind of been my baby, kind of my creative outlet. And since the band, this EP, we've really collaborated a lot. Everything's changing now for better. It's great. Like with the EP, we've got Justin on the bass. He's writing the bass parts.
wow,
And Noah's writing his parts, Jordan's doing his parts. And before, kind of at least 2 songs ago, it was kind of all me. So a little bit more limited. You might hear that, or it's different. And I'm just really excited where it's going, the direction it's heading in. Where a lot of cool things are happening, especially on this EP. If you listen to Velvet Fangs, that one we wrote together. That one
Hmm.
we created together, and you can kind of see where we're heading, and I love it.
okay. I can see that. Like I said, well, I did listen to on Spotify this morning. That's right, and I wanted to purchase it, but I'm going to go to Bandcamp and purchase it
Mm,
because you're going to make
mhm.
it right. You're going to publish it.
Yes, yes, that will be published. I promise.
He put it on there, but he forgot to.
I'll do my part.
Anyway, a lot of good. I like. Okay, let me go with this first. Because like I said, when I told you before we even hit record, there's so much I want to ask you guys and talk about.
Yeah,
So how did you guys all know each other previous
yeah.
or?
That's what I meant to talk about, Justin or Jordan. So
Okay.
Jordan, and we found Jordan. So it was me, Justin, and Noah kind of going to open jams. And honestly, Tyler was there too. Tyler was jamming there too. And we got to jam with Jordan a couple of times. And it just like took like two or three times that we played together. We're like, hey, we need to see about Jordan joining us. And so we just asked him one time after we jammed at an open jam. Remember, there was open jams at Nola's and the
Oh yeah,
Canopy Club.
yeah.
That's
Hmm.
where we were kind of really hanging out, really jamming a lot, and that's where we found Jordan.
Yeah,
So
it was a Tuesday at Canopy Club. Um, I I had started going there because I don't remember. I knew that I needed to get out of my basement, stop just playing in my basement. Because you know I moved out here from California. I didn't have like a lot of friends. My wife's in a PhD program. She's finishing up. So like she was like mid dissertation or not mid dissertation, but mid program at that point. And I was just looking for, find some fellow musicians to play with. I went out there and when I signed up, I just signed up as a drummer. So I just sat behind Kit. And I think Patrick was one of the first people I ever played with. He came up and played bass.
Oh yeah.
And then the next time Justin was there and Justin played bass and Pat played guitar, and we kind of just really started to feel it out. And it all just kind of came together after that. I think we had like a gig coming up, and then that gig ended up falling through, but then we got like a summer thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it all
Yeah, we
just kind of
really
came
hit
together
that.
really
We hit
fast.
that summer really hard. We
Yeah.
had a really good summer of live music. We played at Poor Bros and then went to Bloomington, played over there, and we had a flurry of good gigs back to back.
Tremendous. I
Hmm.
love that you were
Yeah.
like, I got to get out my basement, let me find some music and just
Yeah.
everything, that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Hmm.
I love that's a
Yeah.
great story. That just proves like what this music community here in Champaign-Urbana does, what it brings,
Truly.
what it brings forward. When
Truly.
Hmm.
fact, that's the best ever.
Absolutely. We are very much CU, like, yeah, homegrown. Yes,
So
100% on that.
you did which I'm thoroughly impressed with. You did a live recording at the Rose Bowl.
Oh
Was
yeah,
that
that's right.
2021?
I think that was 2021. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Hmm.
it's after COVID and everything. That
Yeah.
sounds so amazing.
Yeah, that was a hell of a show. I do remember that. I remember that being really fun. A plus was our drummer. A plus was our original drummer, and our guitar player was uh was Grant. And Grant is just a blues shredder, incredible, loud, like live, like blues player. And so that's what you're hearing. Him and A plus, when we would jam, him and A plus would just bring it higher. One would go higher, the other one would go higher, higher, and then that's where you get that just monstrous sound
Yeah,
in that show that was there. Yeah.
I adore him. We've just
Yeah.
become good friends, but and his band, Therapy is
Oh yeah.
just really
We love him too. He was at our show this Saturday. He's
how did
he's
that go?
he's a brother of mine. He's such a good friend. He's honestly such a big influence on me too. Like just coming to see you when I moved here in 2020. It was a pandemic and nobody was really hanging out, but he was doing the Soul on Sunday. He offered me an opportunity to come and sing. And then we just kind of hit it off. We hung out a bunch and he introduced me to a bunch of people in the community, and he's just he's like a big brother to me.
He
He's
is.
great.
He's like a
Yeah.
he's like a
Yeah.
lifter. He doesn't oppress.
Yeah.
He just brings people in and
Yeah.
spotlight and pushes them out
Yeah.
and inspires. He's one of my favorites in
Yeah.
Champaign-Urbana, definitely.
Hmm.
He's just a
Hmm.
soulful heart. Um,
Yeah.
so now you guys have you done this release, and how did that go at the gosh darn it, where was it? The
Oh, at Gallery Art Bar.
the gallery.
Yeah.
How did that go? That
It was so fun. We had such a good show, wasn't it, Jordan?
Oh yeah.
Honestly, we were kind of nervous because it's January. It just snowed a bunch. My family was gonna come. They weren't able to make it because of the roads. And we were just kind of nervous that it was just gonna be us, which we would be fine with. But a lot of people showed up. We like I think all the seats were filled up.
oh
Yeah,
that's
And
there was barely any open seats
yeah.
in place.
oh
Yeah, and that really helps the sound when there's more people. And the energy
Mhm.
was just
and you
awesome.
guys
Like it was just such an incredible crowd. Like we had so much fun. We played an encore and it was demanded
Yeah.
of us. And but yeah, there was a bunch of other good stuff happening the same night, like over at Rose Bowl, New Souls were playing, and over in at the Space, Sweet Milk was playing, and we're like, man, we'll see if people show up, but they really did. People really showed up. So
It's great.
Mhm.
yeah.
And where are the other, is it the other two gentlemen? Are they all from here? Are all of you from here, with the exception, I know you're
We
not.
all live here. We all live here. I don't know that any of us are from here. No, Noah is from
Noah.
here.
Noah's from
Noah's
here.
born and raised. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Jordan, where are you from originally?
I'm from Ridgecrest, California, which is like in the middle of the Mojave Desert, about like 2.5 hours east of LA, like
wow.
northeast of LA.
Wow. Is that like safe from the fire and stuff that's happening now?
Yeah, it's quite, I mean, air quality is awful, in general, but no, all my family is out of California at this point for the most part. So I have a few left in San Diego. I have some friends in LA, but um, it's pretty far from where the fires are in LA right now.
So what brought you here? You're the U of I?
Yeah, yeah. My wife Naomi, she is a PhD student, and in 2019 we moved out here. I'm a school teacher. I teach at Urbana High School. So
Oh, you do?
um,
Oh, well,
yeah.
cheers. Yeah, that's
Huh.
cool.
So yeah, I feel like we're kind of townies now, but not quite
Yeah,
yet.
obviously. Yeah, you're there. You're in there. Did you like what and you came here, how come,
Yeah,
Patrick?
so I've lived off and on here 3 times. And this I'm on my
Might
third
as well
and
stay.
final one. I don't think I'm going anywhere, but um I'm like I said, I'm from about an hour south of here, down by Marshall. And then I went to school at Parkland here for a year. Then I left and finished college elsewhere. And then moved back here in like 2012 and worked at the U of I for a little bit, moved back to the farm so I could work on music. That's where I kind of wrote the first 4 or 5 songs there. And then I'm like, you know what? I need to find musicians in the big pool. I need to come to Champaign and Urbana. I love it up there. I need to find musicians. So I came up here
Wasn't hard.
2020 and I've been here since. And yeah, I work at the city of Urbana and yeah,
So how does that work with being full-time?
I know it's hard.
It really has to be hard. And then
A
gigging.
lot of the hard work has been done um, for a lot of the first original songs. Like I said, I was at home at the farm and I was working for myself. I was self-employed, so I kind of made my own hours. And I really made it count then for writing music and getting gear and learning how to record and produce. So now it's time, but it is difficult having, working 40 hours and then making it count on the weekday nights and weekends whenever we can. Because
Who,
we're all working full time.
yeah. And then, of
Yeah.
course you get a break in the summer, but
Yeah.
Jordan,
Mhm.
but how does who books your gigs? Who does that?
Oh,
It's
Pat
kind
for
of a
sure.
yeah, it's usually me. I'm usually kind of the point person, but it's happened that I'm always encouraging everybody to try to catch one, try to get us a gig and talk to people. But I think I end up finalizing it. I just kind of coordinate with everybody.
Well, now that I know the type of music you do, because we get a lot of messages on our page, don't we, Zach?
Yeah, yeah.
And people are looking for this or looking for that or a certain.
Yeah.
Someone did message us. It seemed like 2 months ago. It's like seemed
Oh,
like some more like a more of a retro electronic vibe. Do you have any bands that play that? And I'm like, I the only one I thought of, because I didn't know your type of music at that time, was who are we talking about that they do that song Power? They did. We were talking about them, Zach, before we got on here.
Oh, Sun Stereo?
Sun Stereo.
Yeah.
Sun Stereo.
Mm.
But we've
Yeah.
heard anything from them in quite a while. But you guys is more the freak folk thing you got going on with
Yeah. Yeah.
freak folk with love for the abstract. And you sent me, you know what we're gonna do, because we got 1 minute and 32 seconds, so this is not gonna work. So I'm gonna stop recording for a minute. Okay, so recently, you guys, because of you due to this release that you've had on the Vine, that you've had some reviews from the MP3 blogger, is that right? MP3
MP3 hugger. Yeah. Yeah, he's a music blogger.
Okay, and it was an interesting review, and we were just discussing this before we hit record, because it is the way it's worded is very interesting. So we voted for Jordon to read this. You got it, Jordon?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for.
Oh no, I haven't
the
sent it to Jordan
copy.
yet. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Hang on one
Yeah.
second.
Yeah.
I don't know how I can get it to Jordan. I tell you what I'll do. I'll go ahead and give it a shot of reading this.
Okay.
And I just
Yeah.
hope I don't mess it up. But here we go.
Okay.
Okay, so let me see here. I had to like get off of the camera to do this. So you guys received this quote online from Tastemaker music blogger. In quotations, my oh my, I was in need of a boat to really get with this modern day yacht pop. That's interesting, that wording right there. I mean, it has a dreamy, relaxed, and ever so pop-filled manner, so nobody is going to be discommoded. Did I say that right, guys?
Sounds right.
Discommoded.
Okay, discommoded by having Chasin My Bets in their vicinity. Even hardened indie heads like for there is a disarming nature to this castle fen, a certain soul that feels like a soothing repose.
Probably riposte.
Repose, thank you, to a tough world. That's from MP3 Hugger, which is pretty, let me see, let me get back to you guys here. All right, that's a pretty amazing review.
Yeah, yeah, we were happy to hear that.
Yeah, so where can you find this blogger?
He's on Submit Hub. He has an online magazine as well. I can post it to you so you can share that.
Do that, please, and
Yeah, yeah.
I'll post it.
Will do.
The
Yeah.
folks.
We actually we've received a couple more today. And they're kind of coming in. We're starting to get some feedback and some positive coverage over the new EP.
Yeah,
Which
that's
we always love to see and hear.
yeah.
Yeah, people
That's
sharing it with their
Now,
audience.
how are they getting this?
Yeah, so do you know Submit Hub? It's like Submit Hub is an online hub that connects artists and promoters with bloggers and tastemakers and playlisters. So we submitted the songs to different various bloggers and online magazines so that they could hear our music and just kind of get to know the band and decide if it's something that fits their genre, fits this kind of music that they like and that their audience likes and that they like to share. And they have a chance to pull from us, to pull from our songs as part of their pool that they're selecting as they explore music and share it with their audience.
That is really cool.
Yeah, that's called Submit Hub.
Yeah, I'm glad you told me about
Yeah.
that. We need something like that.
Yeah, it's really great for artists that are writing music and creating and being able to get a little bit of discovery, share it.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
it. Who does your recording?
So it's kind of mainly me and Noah, like I said, our Swiss Army guy, Noah. Between us, we get it done, but do you mean like produce it, like
Yeah, the whole
record
thing,
it?
like gets it from start to finish and
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But it's a labor of love. We love every little bit of it. We record it and this is I just moved. I just bought a house and and putting in the vision of the studio. This is the studio. This is the new Castle Finn studio. And done a lot of work to get it here. Here's our speakers and our little, this is kind of where the magic is going to happen. But we've been recording a lot at Noah's place and my old place that I had before. Yeah, it's just
So you
kind
do,
of, it's very DIY recording.
which
Here's my speaker or my mic locker. All my mics are in there. Guitar amps. You saw the guitars. Yeah.
drum kit, did I see a drum
You
kit?
should see Noah's place. He's got the drum kit and the keys and everything else.
So where did you guys, it's such a mixture of so many different kinds of
Yeah.
things together. Jordan, where did you learn drums?
Man. So I didn't really pick up drums till I was like 16 or 17. I come from like a metalcore, like R&B, metalcore, pop punk,
Wow.
that's really the genres that I grew up on, hip hop, like all that stuff. So I started taking lessons from a local drummer. His name is Caleb Allen, who's actually a Grammy nominated producer in LA now. He's like working with Sting and Bon Jovi and like really amazing people. So I feel super fortunate. I got to learn the basics of drums from him at 16. And then I went to college and kind of dropped it for till after I got my master's degree. And then I purchased a drum set and moved out to here to Illinois. So um, I think that kind of covers how I started. So 16-ish, and I
Ride.
Hmm?
What a wild ride. That's really cool.
yeah, and so COVID happened, and that's really when I started to like really dive in and hone my craft, I suppose. So I met this guy. His name's Josh Manuel. He's the current drummer for Kane Brown,
Yeah.
the country artist. But I met him and started taking lessons with him, and we're friends now. And just I've seemed like I've always just been surrounded by incredible musicians. So like I met the guys in Castle Finn, and all of them are incredible musicians, and it just kind of built from there. So just community honestly is how I learned this.
You've got a great story, Jordan. You do. You really do. That's really cool. I love all of that. Patrick, what about you? With you, how did
Yeah,
you?
so my grandma was a music teacher, so I've been singing since I was, little. I was always encouraged to sing. I'd do solos in the plays, and then I grew up and my voice changed. And I kind of went away from music there for a second, but became cool, and then my senior year of high school, senior year of high school, my grandma got me guitar lessons and I bought a guitar and met Kenny Hayes. You guys know Kenny Hayes from Paris?
Sounds really familiar.
Legendary guitar player. He
Zach?
from Paris. And he's just like such a good teacher and such a big influence on me. But yes, and then I took about 2 years of guitar lessons and then I ended up, when I moved back to the farm, just like, in 2018, I got back with him and I'm like, hey, would you give me some bass lessons too? Because he's just a good musician to have. Like he helped me kind of think about bass differently, and I picked up bass and yeah, so that and then started and ever since I picked up the guitar, I've just always been looking for opportunities to jam. I just love improv and like, you know, would we have a hand drum? We got a bass player, just pick up an instrument. We'll switch it up. And just jamming has just always been
That's why you
my
like open mic.
my
So
greatest joy. Yeah, yeah, that's why I like the open mic and the open jam.
it's such
So
a great way to network with
yeah, yeah.
the
And
need.
beautiful things happen
It is.
and songs get written in jams and or at least the beginning, like the nugget is formed,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I just,
So
I'm all in for supporting
yeah,
mics. They're the best.
yeah.
I wanted to read a little bit of something on your Bandcamp. Because this is where I got that. Let me see here. Your description says, and I'm reading from the Live at the Rose Bowl, which is still so remarkable. Castle Finn is a freak folk band in Champaign, Illinois. They have retro vibes and spades. Their culmination of zealous bass grooves, electro pop keys, and riffy guitar motives. I'm sorry. Create a matrix that defines their psychedelic sound. Castle Finn is led by singer or songwriter, multi-instrumental Patrick Murphy, whose biggest muse is the forest of his rural neighborhood. That's where I got that information at, which is the namesake of the band, which is so cool. Let me see. So you guys have on here, not counting your newest one, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 EPs, it looks like. Is that right?
Yeah, I think six songs. And then we've got some live versions and I think we got a couple covers on there too. A couple
And
cover songs.
yeah,
On
exactly.
Spotify,
Okay.
sorry.
I was gonna say because Bandcamp's where
And and I think YouTube too, like most of the other places. Um, I don't know that I have those on Bandcamp. I'll need to upload those too.
yeah. And
Yeah.
and you have merch, is that right?
Yeah, we got some t-shirts and some stickers. We got some homemade t-shirts. I made a bunch of t-shirts.
Yeah.
We got a logo made from an artist friend of mine from college. She made us a really cool logo, and I got a cutout of it and a stencil, and so I stenciled a bunch of so I got a bunch of t-shirts of our logo and it says Castle Finn on it.
DIY.
DIY, big time.
DIY. All the way, like as much as you
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
What do you expect to beyond what you've already achieved in such a short period of time, really, honestly? What are your expectations for the future with Castle Finn?
I'm kind of sober about the music industry. I understand that there's just a lot of people making music, a lot of really talented people, and people only have so much time for listening. I would be happy to just have a place in people's hearts and times in their day that, Castle Finn is a part of their life, is helps them through the day, listens to the music. And I would be great if we got picked up by I don't know, like a major label, or somebody wanted to promote us and we were able to tour and stuff, but we all got families and we've all got full-time jobs, so I'm a little bit sober about all that. We really just love playing and we really love recording and creating new music, and that in itself is intrinsically, it's just it's that's what we're in it for, I think. So I don't know
That's
if that
Yeah.
answers your question.
yeah.
I just look
How about
forward
you,
to
Jordan?
oh, I just look forward to nights ripping it with the boys, honestly. Like that's really where I'm at. I really enjoy the people you play with. Like I was always taught there's like three keys to something if you're gonna enjoy it. It has to be good music, it has to be good people, or it has to be good money. And we do have two of those right now. We have good people and good music. So, you know, if the money
Maybe
doesn't
the other will
follow, it
follow.
doesn't follow, but
Yeah.
do it because I love it and I love these people. And it's always a good time to find community and to create. Um, and honestly, just to, you know, live life because I feel like that's like music is speaking language. So, you know, like every time I sit down, it's a conversation that I'm having with the band. You know, it's just through a different medium. So, as long as we continue to, you know, speak through our instruments, I'm going to be happy with wherever we go.
Yeah. Okay. You all made me cry with those answers.
Oh,
So, you know, that is from the heart of a listener. That was perfect. That was really,
mm,
really perfect. It was really beautiful. That music makes me so emotional anymore. I went through a period of time, like I think most of us did, especially during 2020, but I like what you did with your time, Jordon, in 2020. Just like really, you know, working on your craft and your art um, and a lot of musicians did that. They just kind of like went to the recording, or they beefed up on their artistry or their instruments or whatever. And they delved into that. And that was one good thing that came out of 2020 is there was a lot of original music that came out of that. A lot of people just went right into the recording. So it gave you time to do that. But as a listener, I think I went through a really weird dry time after 2020. It's just all the rhetoric and the fear and the stuff that was happening in the community and all that. You just kind of withdraw a little bit.
Kind of same here, yeah.
Yeah, which is
mhm.
what I mean. I really did that, and I didn't realize how much until we had the comeback. Um, but now, for some reason this year in particular, at the end of 2024 through now, I'm just like, I'm moved in a bigger way by it. And
Mm,
I could just like hear I don't know how to describe it, but I love how you
yeah,
guys described
it's alive again. The music beast is alive again. The roots are growing
Yep.
yeah, and
again.
we're we are in a community which Zach and I talk about quite often is we can't express it enough from our Facebook page. You
Mhm,
can't express. I mean, the only way we know how to we know how to express it is to like do podcasts, let the musicians talk and tell their story and how they feel, and you know, post and who's where and all of that. But I think capturing it with photos, expressions,
mhm.
movement, moments, those kind of things is the only way that we can do it. And
Yeah,
it's so frustrating because it's like this is a drop
yeah,
in the bucket compared to what's out there. You just don't even you have
yeah.
no idea what's out there. It's so deep and crazy and great. And we
Mhm,
are so incredibly blessed to have that. So that's why I love the story of how you guys met at, you know, doing an open mic or doing that and, you know, and just jamming with each other and then connect. That's what it is. That's a building that foundation and
mhm.
it's tremendous. So I could talk forever about that. So but I won't. Um, but I just want to say we really appreciate so much that you guys were on our podcast, that you are our guests. Um, and we, you know, now that we're fully aware of you guys, we can definitely we're following you now on Facebook. And we'll definitely be supportive and certainly suggest you if someone asks, like, hey, who plays this kind of music? I love it because it's different and it's original. Um, I did want to ask you before we close this up, there is a song, I'm gonna assume that you wrote it, Patrick, called Nowhere.
Yes, yeah. That was a pandemic song for sure.
Oh, no kidding. I
Yeah,
really resonated with that. I really loved that song.
cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's
I felt
very
the same
heartfelt.
way when I heard it the same time, or the first time. I felt the same way about Nowhere.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. But so just let our listeners know that we will put a link in the description of the podcast so that you can connect up with these guys and their music and their merch and just everything that they have going on. Hit follow, don't just hit like. hit follow, and take that off of default, put it on favorites so that they get notifications that way. And go buy that music and buy that merch and support this band that is just doing a just tremendous, amazing, wonderful, fantastic music. So Zach, you got anything you want to say in close?
Oh, I was just curious, you have a Facebook page?
Yeah, we got a Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube. We got a bunch of live
Everything.
videos on YouTube.
Okay, because I
and
do
more.
the daily event list for CU Bands and Fans.
Oh
and
yes, yeah,
I got
yeah, we're on
I
there.
got several hundred links to bands in the area to look at their schedules, but I don't think I have you in there, so I'll have to
Oh yeah, we got to get connected on
keep
there.
watching
Okay.
your schedules. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and then one more
Yeah.
thing, you guys got anything coming up you want to plug?
Yeah, we were on CI Living recently, and they're gonna upload that tonight, I think. So that'll be up probably by the time this podcast is up.
And
So check out our YouTube or just Google or just YouTube search Castle Finn and CI Living. That should be up. And we'll be putting up, we've got a lyric video. We're gonna put up kind of a music video for Rebel Moon. And we're gonna be playing live here really soon too. We're talking to Poor Bros and Weft 90.1.
And,
I'm just gonna ask you.
there's that vineyard too, right?
Yep, in the Sleepy
Alto
Creek
Vineyards.
Vineyard. Yeah,
Oh,
Oh,
great.
Sleepy Creek, yeah.
yeah,
That's
Yeah,
a good place. I like that.
good.
And
Cool.
I'll send you a list of some venues.
Yes, please
Yeah, I'll
do.
send you a list of some venues that I think that you'd be a good fit for.
Lovely.
Keep encouraging those open mics.
Yeah,
To, I know you guys probably do, but just like, yeah, keep encouraging people to go to those open mics and
yeah,
you just never know what comes out of that, but it's always something awesome,
big
Oh,
time, big time.
all right, you guys hang in there when we get done recording, and thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you so much, Terry and Zach.
All right. Thank you.
Good.